So again, appreciate whole Pune Tech community organizers for organizing this wonderful event and giving us opportunity to talk and share our knowledge. With that, also I'd like to appreciate our previous keynote speaker. He give a great insight about OpenAI. Even like even though it is in preview version, we have a lot of activities that we can go through. So uh, about me, I'm Rijwan Ansari, Application Development Manager at Tech1 Global. I love to do development stuff, solution architecting. I'm a .NET full stack developer as well. I like writing blogs, articles, also doing community speaker, making YouTube videos likewise. So you can follow me on reset.com. I'm also a Microsoft MVP. I'm Microsoft certified trainer, also C# Corner MVP with several certification with the Microsoft. Today we will be talking about Azure PaaS Services and how it can enhance or boost development productivity. So here is my agenda. I'll be saying what is what is PaaS service, Azure PaaS service, and then application modernization approaches, and some I'll discuss about since we have lots of Azure PaaS service. I will just go some of the PaaS service which most of the developer use today, and I will do a quick demonstration, and I will also give an example how can we design simple to complex applications. So PaaS service by name, it is platform as a service, which means like when we are developing any solutions, always we develop and we deploy solutions some on some infrastructure, which means like when we develop any applications or software, we will publish or push those into or make it available through one of the publishing those into one of the server. So for that, we need to maintain the infrastructure. Server means it comes with the storage, license cost, and also the availability. Like lots of things are in the background: network, middleware, and supporting tools. So these are there. Now, when we say platform as a service, what we are doing, we are removing all those workload and giving it to the our cloud provider, which means like the pass will allow you to avoid the expenses, complexity of buying, managing the licenses, storage, middleware, networking. So those things will be gone to your cloud provider. He will take care of those stuff for us. We have an environment already ready for the development deployment in the cloud. Now, doing that will give us it like though we are giving those workload to the cloud provider, we have a still full option to do our development lifecycle starting from development, building, testing, deployment, managing, updating likewise, and it gives us the flexibility to develop even simple application, complex enterprise application likewise. So since cloud provider is taking the load of maintaining infrastructure, licenses, middleware, they charge for that, and because of which we are getting benefit, like we don't need to spend those time. Also we don't need engineer for maintenance of those, and also like we have a SLA with them, which means like most of the cloud provider will give you the SLA of 99.95 and above, so we can be relaxed with the availability issues likewise. And though we have given this to the cloud provider, we have a full options to configure it the way we want to configure for our application, scalable, and there are many more options. So we have entire development framework with the all the features we have that we need, but we don't need to take care of the infrastructure, licenses, networking likewise. Now, this is one simple diagram that will give you idea about us, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. So infrastructure as a service means like where we maintain our infrastructure like server, storage, server license, data center, likewise. Now, when we go to pass one layer above, which means like we will have a tools development tools, database management. So where we are just we can use those services and do our development stuff. We have even option to choose our operating systems configuration. Even we want to secure it, we can do network configuration through the user interface itself. Now, another above layer is SaaS, software as a service, which means like even we don't need to develop anything. We don't need to worry about the development platform. It's just a simple software. We will use the services and we pay for that one. Like for example, Microsoft Office 365, where we pay for the per user license. We use it for like email or like SharePoints. Other several options are there. So we simply use those services. We don't know what is the development tool they are using, what is the database they are using. We just use the service and pay for that. So that is software as a service. Now with it, if we use PaaS for, let's say, our development, cloud, in especially in cloud, we have a several advantages. Like first, it will reduce the workload related with the managing infrastructure, licenses, environment setup. Development will be much faster because you have all the environment ready, and those environment are like standard. Like it is not like hit and trial. Most of the time when we are building our own servers, we need to do lots of hit and trial. Sometimes we check what the options are there. There are lots of issues backend we know, but those issues are not there when we go for PaaS service in cloud. And it's easy to create a multiple environment within a few minutes. Like when we see the traditional approach, when we have our own server. So if we want to develop an environment, then we need to have a like, let's say, development environment, uh, QA environment, UAT environment, then production environment. Some organization even they have more than that many environment. So to create those many environments, it's a time consuming, and also the cost. You have to maintain those servers separately, license cost is separately, all the things are there. So if we go for like PaaS cloud services, we can create a multiple environment within a few minutes. We just select option and create, it will create a new environment for you, and it gives you wide range of tools, and it is flexible for every platform, not only for like .NET development. It, if you want to develop the application with the other platform, it has all the tools available with it. And PaaS service, the configurations, although we are hosting those, also we are giving those workload to the cloud provider. All the configurations options are there, and those are very easy. I mean, most of the things we can do through interface itself. Just with the interface, we can select the options and make it available. Scalable, it is highly scalable, and pricing model are quite flexible, which means like you can go pay as you go. If some applications you need a less resource, like those are only for some request or some purpose, you can go for lower cost. If some applications are business critical, uh, we have lots of user to hit there, then you can go for like super computer as well. So we have that option there. And we can it's a geographically distributed, so we can maintain our replica of environment or like instance into multiple geographical location. So it is based on the user, the instance will be available for those geographical area. And it's quite easy if you have a distributed teams as well. Let's say like if the people are working from different country, different location. So if we are in the PaaS environment, we have a flexibility, and it's easy because the experience will be same for all the users. But when we are using on-prem server, it is really hard for the users or for the developer who is working from the different location. And most of the time there is a dependency. We need to go to the our data center to do some changes. So these are the some challenges we are getting off. And uptime guarantee is there. And if you see the advantage will go on, there are several advantages. Now, Azure PaaS Service, like developers are equipped with all the tools and features that is required to build the modern cloud applications, cloud native applications. We have a complete development and deployment environments with simple to complex enterprise applications. Azure offers like wide ranges of PaaS service. Like I'd like to show like the PaaS service that we have right now in Azure. Let me just share you my another browser. I hope you can see my screen browser. Yeah. So this is one of the like Azure charts. Like it will show all the services that is available in the Azure. Now, if I filter here PaaS, yeah, you can see like lots of services are available in AI and machine learning. We have number of PaaS services, analytics, compute, databases, development, uh, identity and security, IoT, integration, management, likewise. So we have enough PaaS service and we have available, we have PaaS service for every criteria that we have. Go back to my list. Yeah. So this is one of the most loved cloud environment as of today for developers because it is mostly focused. Uh, not only for one, like it is for all. Now, it provide all the features and configuration that we need and for the development activities. Um, about the scalability, I already shared with you, and it is fit for every kind of requirement, like low to complex one, and it gives you full platform for DevOps or DevSecOps, and the platform is secure, trusted platform. Now, modern application. So if we see like this PaaS services, when we are using PaaS services, we talk about modern applications, which is cloud native applications. So we are talking the application which will be on the cloud and is hassle free. So when we say modern application cloud natives, I must talk about application modernization. If we see our today industries, uh, even if we see banks, telcos, still they have legacy applications. Some of the companies or some of the telco or banks, they have several legacy applications, and for them it's quite difficult to migrate to the modern applications because of several reasons we will see. So now it is time for us to think about the modernization because I have seen even some banks, they are running some applications which is out of support. So if something goes wrong, they cannot avail that support from Microsoft or even the platform they are using, like let's say .NET version older or even like for PHP, the version which is out of support. So for them, it's still like it's still their own legacy side. Now they need to take this approach for the modernization, and it's not like a overnight they can go to the modern applications. So they need to take some iterative process. They need to analyze their current application. Based on those applications, there can be way like they can migrate some of the application, some can be upgrade. So there can be different approach for the different applications. And the reason for modernization, of course, we know like now if it's not a valid question, like if somebody will ask why I should modernize my applications. We know like now industry is moving very fast. Technology is moving very fast. If we are not coping with those technologies, somewhere we will be isolated. There will be no any feature. There will be no any like new features that is coming into market, and even the user experience will not be. Now the applications users are looking a kind of, their expectation is quite high. So industry regulations are also changing according to that, and there is it will obviously reduce the technical depth. We have option to do enhancement, add new feature, bring modern security systems on the modern applications. Also the cost optimization is there, so maintaining those legacy application is still costly. And productivity also, like still we have lots of developers, those who are known with the, I mean, legacy applications, those previous technologies as well. But in the coming future, we will not have a resource to maintain those technologies because the new generation will learn new technologies. And yes, scalability will be like limited. The user satisfaction is low for those. Even we sometimes complain several banks when we are using their banking applications. So these are there, and these are the reasons like we need to now think of modernization. Now, challenges for the modernization with current technology or current industries is like first is like lack of knowledge is there. Like many of the uh, resources today we have, they lack that cloud skills. But there are several as well. So this technical gap is there. Fragmented securities, conflict priorities. Most of the business they put this technology as a low priorities for them. The other business maybe have more priorities. And another reason is like they have not one or two legacy applications, several legacy applications are there. So it will not like it is not a easy decision for them to migrate at once. Quality assurance is another challenge for them. Let's say, for example, many even customers I have faced, or even some people I have faced, like their legacy application is already running, it is fulfilling their business need. Now, once they migrate into new platform, there is chances like first they need to do the quality assurance again. So there is chances like some of the feature will not work there, or some of the things might not be there. So for them, it's a risk, so that is there, and that will cause a business impact. Another reason is data migration, IT budget. These are the challenges that we have with the current industry. So if we say about the approaches of migration, like there can be like several way when we take this approach for migration. One is platform or architectural. Sometimes we might need to do the re-engineering. Some of the application might not support this modern approach, so we need to redevelop this. And uh, today it's quite easy to develop a new application because we have low code platform as well if you want to quickly market it. Now, when we say about PaaS service, we should also talk about serverless solution. So now in Azure, we have end-to-end, we have almost every serverless solution we have. Like, let's say if we are looking for serverless compute, we have Azure Function, Azure App Service, serverless containerized microservices. If we want Azure serverless workflow or integration, then we have Logic Apps, API management, Azure Event Grid. If we want to know the serverless architect or serverless, if we are looking serverless services for AI and machine learning, then we have cognitive service, bot service, machine learning. Under cognitive, we have OpenAI as well today. Now, if you want to build like database relational and non-relational, that also we have option. If we want to have a storage of serverless, then we have a Azure Blob Storage where we can store our content without considering about the server. Azure Monitor, Azure DevOps. So we have lots of we have almost like end-to-end solution for serverless architecture. Now, serverless architecture or serverless computing enables to build an application faster by eliminating the need of them to manage infrastructure, licensing, network, all these things. So here is one main thing is the term serverless doesn't mean there is no server. Server is there, but our cloud provider will take care of those maintenance, license, provisioning. So all this workload will go to the cloud provider. So that's why we call it serverless solution or serverless architecture, which means we are not taking care of server. It's a cloud provider. We have several serverless. The one I showed earlier in one chat, like we have several services for PaaS. But I will only discuss few of the services today, which nowadays we are mostly using for our modern applications. Okay. Azure App Service. This is one of the most loved, used service for the developers. Whenever we want to publish any cloud-based application or HTTP-based application or web application, we use Azure App Service. And Azure App Service, we can even build the application for Java, Ruby, Python, Paul, and it has a managed environment as well. It has a global scale with high availability. We can manage the traffic. It comes with the SaaS connection as well. Like we can connect with the SAP, Salesforce. Security and compliance are up to date, and it follows Wallet standard. Serverless code, it comes with the deployment slot, which I will show one example in the demo. So it comes with health check and advisory recommendation. We can manage the logs, track the logs. Real-time debug option is there. DevOps optimization. So sometime real-time debug is one of the things I would like to talk. Like um, it is quite common for like application when we are developing, it works fine. When it move to production, there will be something mistake there or there will be some issues. It is very common in the software development. So whenever we follow the process and everything, there is a always high chance of having some issue in the production. Now, when we have a server or let's say we are on-prem or we are using like server environment, then it is very difficult for us to debug the and to find the issue in the server because we cannot directly connect to the server or we have like several restriction over there. Now, when it comes to Azure App Service, we can directly deploy into the production environment also. We can, it's quite easy to find the issues, and also it has a real time, log. Like if there is a log, there is a log analysis, we can easily see and we can find and solve the issue very easily. Scaling option is quite high. Like if we are thinking of like practice or development, it has a free or shared version, also free and shared package. And if we are developing like production applications or the applications which is quite used and it requires more computing space, we can go to the premium, standard premium. So it comes up to 32 cores and 256 GB RAM. And if we have a business critical applications, then we can even go for isolated service plan as well, which is coming up to 64 cores and 256 GB RAM. We can scale out to multiple instance, which is very easy. So it can be coming, it can, we can have a like instance up to 32 up to 100 instance for isolated instance means let's say we have a application running, so we can have a multiple instance of same application so that traffic will be distributed. So with Azure App Service, we have a rules also. We can put auto scale, which means Azure will take decision when the number of hit or number of the utilization of that service is high. It will create new instance automatically. Or we can put the rules also. Like for example, I have an app service, I published it, and I can put a rule like if the server or CPU utilization goes to 80%, create a new instance. And if the utilization is 30%, reduce the instance so that we can save the cost also. So these are the features available in the Azure App Service. And today now Azure is, ready or not ready, like it has all the complete environment for every kind of application. There is always a kind of doubt with other platform, like they think like Azure is a Azure App Service is like good for .NET applications. Obviously, it is really, I mean, best for .NET application. But with that, it has a complete environment for Java, for Ruby, for Python. It has an integration tool likewise. Now another PaaS service, or like we can say serverless, is database. So for database, we have like Azure SQL database. It comes with the managed plan as well. We have Azure Cosmos DB, PostgreSQL. So all the service options, database options we have. Azure Function is another one serverless service. It is actually Azure Function is a kind of a small function we are running in a cloud. So uh, We have a application which comes with the several functions running together to do a particular job or task or something. Now, if we want to run only a small function or a small event or even a complex event, and we don't want to consume the whole server, or we want to go a kind of um, low cost, let's say, option, then Azure function is really helpful. It is an event driven compute on demand that can we can like trigger based on some event, and even with all the Azure service also we can trigger, or we can trigger based on the third party service as well. So it is quite easy to build, and this is really cost effective, as I know, really cheap, and we can build a kind of any APIs or trigger based on like some event on even APIs as well. We can build this Azure function with any preferred programming language, and it also comes with the DevOps automation like CI/CD. Another service I would like to talk about Azure API management. So for this, if I say one example, let's consider one bank or like telcos or any enterprise or even like SMEs. So what will happen, they are running several services, several applications within their organization. Now for them, they need to manage all those services separately. So they need to have a security separately, authentication separately. So this separate management is costly, and also they don't have a central control over it. What they can do, they can bring all those services and APIs into one platform and manage it centrally with Azure API management. It is not only for Azure, but also for other cloud platforms or on-prem services APIs. So those all we can bring into one platform, and you can manage it separately. We can manage the authentication separately. We can apply the policies centrally. So likewise, these all we can control centrally, and the advantage is the end user or consumer will be having a kind of abstraction, which means they don't know backend URL, backend server details, or backend details. They will only consume the API, which is managed, controlled, and secured centrally. Logic apps. This is another. I think we have another one session also about logic apps. So logic apps is iPaaS, we call integration platform as a service. So if you want to build any kind of integration or automation with the low code options, this is really a great service we have. We can easily build a kind of business critical workflows without writing code, and this is very cost effective as well. It has several connectors which we can connect with the different source and create our flow. Upfront cost is really low, and there is no termination fee. You can go pay. You can even do the billing per minute as well. Another service about which I want to talk again for PaaS or like even serverless is Azure Static Web Apps. It is quite popular. We all know that the reason is here. First thing, it comes with the free version also, and even if we are looking for sophisticated or computing good resource, that is also really low cost. And with that, you can build a static content in your let's say static web application, which means like front end. So even if we want to make a dynamic website with the static web apps, it's quite easy. We need to communicate those through the API. So if we have a API, we can even our host our front end application. It is in Vue.js or Angular or React. So we can host that front end to the static web app and connect it through the API. Let me show you one quick demo about PaaS. Let me go to my. Okay. I hope you can see my screen. Let me know if I need to zoom in. Source code, yeah. So actually here nothing to do with much coding, because I'm gonna show only about how to publish it and how to manage likewise. So I have a three project here which I created just like yesterday or like day before yesterday. I don't remember when I created it, but I created only for the demo purpose of this one. So I have like, let's say, one web API, a .NET Web API, which I'm using .NET 6. I have a Azure function, which is also the .NET 6, and one web application. Now let me show you my Azure party file. So if I run this application, I'm just getting some dummy data. I will not go into the backend of the code. Now I want to show the resources I can use it. Okay. Now, if we want to host our, let's say like web API or web application, we have Azure App Service. If we want to like publish our Azure function, we have a Azure function. So it's quite easy to create any app service. Like I have already created one. So to create, it's quite easy. Like when I create this one, this is one of the like serverless service or PaaS service we can consider. We need to choose our subscription. We can give our name. Now we have an option like we want to publish this as a code or Docker or a static web app, and we can choose the stack of our choice, like which platform we want to use within that, which version. Like now it is not only for .NET, Go, Java, Node, PHP, Python, Ruby, all options we have. And then we have an option to choose our operating system also, like we want to keep Linux or operating or like Windows. Then we have option to choose the region. We can see our plan likewise. Let's say I choose .NET 6 window. Then it will give me all the reason. Then I have an option to plan. Even like there are several other options are there. Like if we want to connect with one of our GitHub repository so that we can do CI/CD. That is also there. Networking, monitoring, all options are there. So let me go to one app service that I have already created. So you can see this service now. Let me publish one application here. Or yeah, I already published. Let me just check if it is already there. Yeah, it is already published. So this is the app service we have already published. The publish is quite easy these days. Just right click here, publish. Then let's say if you want to publish in Azure, it's just simply we choose the Azure. Next, what kind of Azure it is, like Windows or Linux. Then we can choose our subscription, our resource group, then resource. And after that, if it will give option also if you want to do the CI/CD from one of the Git repository, GitHub repository. So this is quite simple with this one. Now, one thing I want to highlight here, like deployment slot, which I was saying about. So when we have like in real environment, what will happen? We will have a multiple. We need multiple environment actually. So what we do, we create a slot. Let's say, for example, this is my production slot. Now I want to create one development one, or like in general, like let's say I create one dev. Then I have option. I want to copy the setting from here. I don't want to copy because I don't have any setting here. I can create any dev slot. So it will create another environment similar like this, where I will be able to publish my, let's say, development code. And when I like in generally when we publish a code, first we publish in dev, then QA, UAT, it goes production. This is the like phase we follow. Now here, what will happen? If I publish something into, let's say, for dev, and I'm not considering now QE or UAT environment. Now, if it works, if I want to move that into production without a downtime, we can do it here. So this is one of the beauty of Azure App Service, or even I can say like PaaS service. Like if we see our real scenario with the on-prem environment or the server we have, when we want to publish something into production, there is most of the time there will be downtime. So we do either this in off hour or holidays, and if there is a downtime, we need to inform the user. But here, if we want to do something, let's say development to production, and if we want to switch the things without any downtime, we can do it. Let me now show you. For example, let me go to my VM. Mm, This is the API I built. So this is my API parameter, my component. So I'll just copy this one and create a version 2 of this. I'll just create a version 2. Create get free with it. Let's see below. Or I can give some, let's say, list. Now I want to publish this application. So what I will do, I'll publish into my div. Sorry, this can I cancel? I cancel it. Okay. I want to publish this in my dev environment. So let me just create here. Go to my dev environment. So if I choose here, I have a slot called dev. I'll choose this. I want to skip this part. There is an option if I want to load the CI/CD. So let's keep it simple for now. Now I'll publish it. So until it is publishing, let it be happen. Now I have another one is called Azure function. This is also simply one, I did one default template. I did not do much changes. I just created one Azure function. There is no much code. I'm just getting some static values uh, here. So this also I have published it in my here. So here also this is one Azure function. Here also I have option for deployment slot. All the features are there, and we can apply authentication. That's all. Now let me just quickly publish it. The one, yeah, it's already published in my PA. Just swap off. Okay, let me check what could be the reason. Let me go to my PM again. Okay. The reason can be maybe I just copy it and I did not do some changes. Enable whether test to gate. Maybe it is doing some gate likewise. If I can get to HTTP controller. Okay, let me just run it locally. Yeah, it is having some error. So I'll not go into this one depth, but what I aim is here, because I don't want to spend, because I want to show something more about this. So it is quite easy for us, if I want to just migrate the dev into production, I can simply go here and let me show my environment. Okay. Here I can simply, what I can do, there is a deployment slot. I can swap it. If I click swap, I can easily turn my dev code into production without any time downtime. If I verified my dev environment is ready, I can quickly just swap it and my code will go into production. So this is one thing we are getting. If I'm not running out of time, let me just check one time my time. It's 40 minutes already. Okay. Now, another thing what I want to show this Azure API management. So let me show you what I have done through that. So I have one Azure API management. So Azure API management, what we can do, we can bring the multiple APIs into like multiple services into one place. And now we can publish this to end user and we can say control it centrally. We can apply the policy. So let me go here. I already added those services here. So if we want to add any API, so we can simply we can click HTTP likewise. So if I want to connect and bring my API, let's say Azure function into API management, but I have already called Azure function. If I click, I can just simply browse and get from my environment. I can simply click Azure App Service and I can bring those web APIs here. So I have already bring my Azure function which I have published earlier. So there is one called get all category API. Now, when this API is there, I'm bringing it central. Now, what I can do here, I can do the changes like if I want to apply some policy, I can do it from here itself. I don't need to manage it separately into that application. So all the policy I want, I can add it here like IP filtration, limit rate, mock responses, likewise. Now, I can do some setting also. Let's say like my backend or it can be on premises or it can be third cloud service provider or it can be another application. So I can just give a suffix for that one. So let's say end user will only see like it is these all APIs is coming from one environment. We can apply authentication from here itself. So this is Azure function. Similarly, if I want to connect, bring my Azure App Service, that also I can do. Like what I can do, I can bring my, I have done here my Azure App Service. So it is coming from my App Service. Here also I can apply the prefix likewise. And there is an option I can test it as well. So I can just simply send and check the response. So it is giving my response, the one I have already in my VM, the API. This is the same response I'll get there. Right out. Execute, yes. The same API which I can get it from, let's say, my app service. If I bring that into my here, I'm getting the same response, but I can apply policy on top of it. So if I have like several API service, those I can bring into one platform using Azure API management. So it can be controlled simply from one place. Let me go back to my demo. Sorry, demo almost done. So here is one thing also I want to share. Um, we can develop even simple to complex application within low cost as well. Most of the time, if we see complaints from the like say company, they say like Azure is costly. Obviously, it is costly if we are looking for good services. But we need to think the ROI for like after few years. Instant cost is quite high, but if you consider like after 3 years, 5 years, ROI will be there. Now, if we want to build any complex application also, like with the low cost also we can do, like if we can bring a static web app as a front end, which is also free. And even if we want to go for like high computing, the cost is very low. So we can put all the front in here. We can use Azure API management, or even without API management, we can access all the backend services or backend operation we can do through Azure function, which is Azure function is also like really cost effective, like $0.2 per million execution. So which is also very less. And through that Azure function, we can access our SQL, we can access our Cosmos DB, or we can access any AI services, blob-based storage, or even on-prem environment data or on-prem database. So all the options we have. And obviously, like with that, like it comes with the DevOps platform as well. So this is also a kind of like uh, where we have like we can manage our entire development activities. So we have another speaker. I saw he's already giving one session on CI/CD with the microservices. So you will know a bit more about DevOps there. With that, now we have another security layer coming, DevSecOps, which is security first mindset, which means we can apply our security during the development, building, testing, even for the deployment. So this is what another one feature we have. And we have seen.
Sorry to interrupt. Actually, I've raised my hand long back.
Oh,
Just
sorry, I cannot see the screen because I'm in presentation mode.
sorry, no problem. Just one
Okay.
quick question on the deployment slots. You
Mhm.
mentioned that we can quickly switch between the environment.
Yes.
So the code can be deployed. What about the configurations?
Yeah, so there is a option like you want to create a deployment slot with the settings. So if you have any settings, those also will be copied. But when we say about configuration, what configuration we are talking about, that depend. Like let's say if we want to maintain some of the settings, that can be actually transferred. And also if we have any kind of packages there already in the solution, those will be also migrated. Those will be also switched. So it depends upon the
With
configuration.
configuration, I mean to say that in lower environment, in dev environment, we will be using a development database or some development other
Mhm, mhm.
source. Those
That
those
that
configuration.
that you can do it. Let me show you. Like for example, uh, if I can show you, we need to bring those. Let's say for example, I have configuration. So those configuration, if we put into like app setting,
Yes,
we
yes.
can, yes. So deployment slot will be using that app setting as well. So you can switch that also. Let's say like when I'm switching, I can put a condition. Okay, when you will switch, don't switch my app setting.
Okay.
So in it means like it will push my entire code, but app setting will be same.
So with this, we cannot. With the switch,
Hmm.
the application will not be ready for the environment unless we have all the configuration in place, right?
No,
We still need some downtime.
no, you there will be no downtime at all. Like if you have like let's say app setting is there, let's say your database connection string will be in the app setting, for example. Then when we will switch, we can exclude the app setting part.
Okay,
So it means like let's say first time I have a production environment, it is connected with the production database.
correct.
I have a development environment, it is connected with the development database. Now,
Correct.
when I will switch it, it will switch my entire code base, but app setting will remain as it is. It will not change the app setting, which means like my database connection will be as it is.
Okay, if I understood correctly, the
Mhm.
environments which we are setting under the deployment slots will have
Mhm.
their own settings.
Will have their own setting. Like let's say, for example, if I create a slot, there is an option I can clone the setting, or if I want, I can keep it as it is. I don't want to clone the setting. And there is an option we can exclude that one. For example, I'll show you. Okay, here are like if we put here some settings, there is an option I don't remember exactly, but let me check if there is. like if we create any, let's say, connection or anything, there is an option when we will switch, it will not copy that connection string. Sorry, it will not switch the settings. So in that case, still you have like your both environment is as it is, only the code base is changing.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, so that's the case. And another thing is like sometimes we do like traffic management. Like let's say I want to create a multiple environment and I want to change the traffic. So that option is also there. Like let's say only 30% of user will get one slot, another 30 will get another slot. That option is also there.
In the same environment.
No, no, you need to have a different slot. For example, um let's say like when we release it, so we want to make like soft release, so only like slowly we want to move, so that how we will target the audience.
Understood. Got it.
Okay, thank you for your question. Actually, when we present the slide, normally we don't see the background if somebody had someone has raised his hand, because my screen is with the presentation.
Okay, okay. No problem.
Okay. All right. So with that, we know like development benefit with the PaaS service. We have several benefit. Throughout this session, I mostly talked about the benefit. So it is the same thing. We will reduce the development, less prone to error as a human when we deploy manually from one server to another server. There is high chance of having error because it's all about the manual process. But when we do automation with the cloud environment, it is really less prone to error. Smooth deployment most of the time. We might, the one who has used it, they know the experience of smoothness when we go for this PaaS service. So with that now, like these are some benefit we have, and that conclude my session for today. If you have any question, I'll be happy to answer. And here are some of my contacts. Like you can reach me through LinkedIn